The 2023 debut of the Electra marked a shift in the Lotus brand. No longer would the purest sports car company be confined to pure sports cars, and Lotus was instead branching out into new territory with a fully electric SUV. This move came under Geely ownership and in an era where a small, low-volume sports car manufacturer just can't make money on its own. In addition to the Electra, we now know that Lotus will continue expanding its lineup by adding another fully electric sports car, with this one being a sedan poised to rival the Tesla Model S and Porsche Taycan. Hey, I'm Creech, and this is Creech and Cars, where I talk about car news, history, and culture. And today I'll be going over everything we know so far about the upcoming Lotus Type 133. While Lotus is most well known for its lightweight, stripped down sports cars and roadsters, the British automaker has actually made a couple of sports sedans in the past. The most recent one being the Carlton, which was produced in the early 90s and was really just a Lotus tuned Opel Omega. And prior to that, there was the Lotus Cortina, which was essentially a Lotus tuned Ford Cortina. Flash forward to today, and Lotus is under new ownership and is now looking to get back into the sports sedan segment, although this time it will be the company's first electric sedan. This comes after the debut of the fully electric SUV, the Electra, so it definitely looks like Geely wants to become a higher volume car brand. So let's take a look at the exterior of the Lotus Type 133. The design hasn't been officially revealed yet, but we do have plenty of camouflage spy shots to give us a good idea of what the exterior will look like. The overall design language is very similar to the Electra, so it's easy to see the designers want this to be the Lotus look in the future. The lights here are temporary, so we'll look at some renderings in a minute, but we can still get a good look at the body, which is angular but not overstyled or creased. The side profile looks a bit basic, but the overall shape looks high-end with the sport-back design. There are flush door handles and digital side view mirrors, so the Type 133 looks very clean and aerodynamic. The sloping front end shows the most aggressive aspects, with the split grille design featured on the Electra, and the production version should share a similar light design to that of the Electra as well. The rear end showcases the coupe-like roofline and a small rear window. Below that is the small trunk opening and a cutout for a full light bar, although the testing model is fixed with these makeshift lights. Now let's take a look at some renderings based on the spy shots we've seen. In this rendering from Car Magazine, the Type 133 features an Electra-like front end with a more aggressive hood design and a blacked out roof to accent the bright yellow body. This look at the rear from CarWow shows a bodyline rise from the doors to accentuate the sportback look, again with the blacked out roof. There is a thin LED light bar that wraps around the rear quarter panels, and the bumper and side skirts are also accented in black. As far as the interior goes, we don't have any official shots or renderings just yet, but I think it's pretty clear that this is just a sedan version of the Electra, so it should have a similar interior. We can see in these spy shots that the 133 has a very similar dash layout with the large square infotainment screen mounted in the center, and it appears to have the same dual cockpit layout of the Electra. This interior is all black with the exception of the red seat belts, which provide a nice sporty touch. The back is more similar to what you might find in a Porsche Panamera with the full bucket seats and continuous center console. Also, we can see that instead of a sunroof, the 133 has a completely glass roof. Here's a quick look at the Electra's interior so you can get a better idea of what the finished product looks like. There are some nice materials in here, and I especially like the little gold metallic touches. So the design is pretty similar to the Electra, and this similarity should continue to the mechanical and performance specs. This means there should be the same three trim levels, the base, S, and R. The official model name hasn't been released yet, but it will likely be called the Emeya, although Lotus has also trademarked the name Etude, and some reports have indicated that Lotus will recycle the Cortina nameplate. The 133 will ride on the same electric premium architecture platform that the Electra uses, and this means it should have the same battery and motor setup, while slotting right in between the Taycan and Model S in terms of length. All-wheel drive will be standard with one motor on each axle and a 112 kilowatt-hour battery. On the S trim, this dual motor setup translates to 603 horsepower and 524 pound-feet of torque, meaning the Type 133 could go 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds and reach a top speed of around 160 miles per hour, while still managing a range of 373 miles on the WLTP cycle. The base price should be right around $100,000, and the S could come in a little higher, around $115,000, but the top of the line R trim will jump up to around $150,000. For the extra money, you get an extra motor and a total output of 905 horsepower and 726 pound-feet of torque. The extra power means the R can go from 0 to 60 in just 2.95 seconds, and the top speed is slightly higher at 165 miles per hour. The battery pack remains the same, however, meaning the R trim's range drops to around 300 miles per charge. The Type 133 should be officially revealed in the coming months, possibly before the end of the year, and production is supposed to begin in 2025. So that's everything we know so far, but will the Emeya be successful? First off, the Emeya is clearly designed for the Chinese market. Again, it is similar to the Electra in this aspect. The Electra is expected to go on sale in the US by the end of this year, and I would expect Lotus to try to sell the 133 in the US as well, but China is definitely the main focus. And I think in China, the 133 will be able to accomplish its goal of reaching a wider market of younger, wealthier buyers who weren't interested in Lotus's classic sports cars of the past. The Electra and Emeya may not sell very well at first, but these models will help get the brand established among other electric luxury cars that are already selling well in China. As for the American and European markets, both of these models do not reflect the brand image that buyers have had of Lotus for decades. I doubt the Electra or Emeya can bring back any current Lotus owners, but with its reasonable price point and lesser known badge, the Emeya could attract those who want to stand out from the Model S and Taycan crowd. So that's everything we know so far about the Type 133, an all new upcoming fully electric sports sedan from Lotus. Let me know what you think about the Type 133 in the comments. Do you think Lotus is making the right move by expanding its lineup into other segments? Or do you think it should stick to pure sports cars? On this channel, I talk about car news like this, as well as history and culture. So if you like this video, be sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel and subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.